Hey guys, before we dive into problem-solving strategies, I have a fun fact about problem-solving strategies. Did you know that problem-solving strategies has already existed 4 million of years ago? These strategies have significantly contributed to the development of civilization of what and where we are now. And now, we will dive into problem-solving strategies. In this video, we will explore the problem-solving strategies and know how mathematics applies and help us in our daily lives through step by step.
Problem solving. This phrase is something we regularly experience in our daily lives, from budgeting allowance, decision making, splitting a bill, etc. There are multiple strategies in solving problems, such as Napoleon's problem solving strategy, and reasonings such as inductive, deductive, and abductive. These three reasonings are what we mostly use in our daily lives in solving problems that we encounter.
Was recognized because of the book, How to Solve. It was published by George Polya in 1945. The step can be summarized by understanding the problem first, then devise a plan, carry out the play, and lastly look back.
Now, we go to the reasonings, the inductive, deductive, and abductive reasoning.
Inductive reasoning is a method of drawing conclusions by going from specific to general. For example, you observe that every crow you've ever seen is black, and you form general conclusions that all crows are black. The deductive reasoning is an approach to logical thinking where specific conclusions are derived from general principles or premises. It follows a structural format in which if the premises are true and the reasoning is valid, the conclusions must also be true. For example, herbivores only eat grass, goats only eat grass, therefore goats are herbivores. The abductive reasoning, unlike inductive and deductive reasoning, the abductive reasoning is forming of hypotheses that explain observed phenomena.
Now, let's apply these strategies to a problem.
Let's try solving this problem using reasonings. We have a problem here, which is figuring out who holds which position. The roles are manager, accountant, UI/UX designer, and developer. Followed people are Carl, Kang, Duke, and Leon. We have 5 clues here that would help us figure out which position the following person holds. Now, let's figure it out, yeah. And so, clue number 1. Carl and the developer had lunch together yesterday, but neither of them is the manager. This makes Carl not the manager. This makes neither Carl and the developer the managers. So let's cross out the manager role on Carl. So, and this clue tells us that the manager is either Kang, Duke, and Neon, but not Carl and the developer. Let's proceed to clue number 2. Duke doesn't like working with numbers, so he isn't the accountant. So Duke isn't the accountant. Cross that out. Wait. Duke is not the accountant. Let's proceed to clue number 3. The manager works directly with Kang and the designer, but Kang is not the designer. Right. This makes Kang not the manager and the designer. So let's cross out the manager role and the designing role as well. Now let's go to clue number 4. Neon doesn't know how to code, and and this makes him not the developer and cross the road. Now proceeding to clue number 5. Carl and the accountant travel together every day, but Carl doesn't handle finances. But we already figured out that Carl and the accountant is the same person. I know that this sentence is somewhat misleading or ambiguous, but all these clues proves that Kang is the accountant. Check this out. Cross this out and this as well. Now let's figure out what the other roles are. Let's revisit the clue number 3. The manager works directly with Kang, the accountant, and the designer. But Kang is not the designer. Ah, yes. Since Kang is the accountant, and clue number 1 told us that Carl is not the manager, and it must be either the manager must be either Duke or Neon. Yes, Duke or Neon. But in the clue number 4 says that the Neon doesn't know how to code, so he is likely to be the manager or the accountant. But the accountant position has has already been is already taken. So hmm, the developer must be Carl. Okay. X. And we know that the accountant role has been taken, and Carl is the developer. Now, the roles we know so far are Carl being the developer and Kang the accountant. Duke and Neon's role or positions are still unknown. Sorry for the long pause. Now let's figure out who is the manager and the UI designer. The ma- but to figure that out, let's go to the clue number 3. The manager works directly with Kang, the accountant, and the designer. Since Kang and the manager are different people, and Carl is the developer, so Neon is likely to be the manager because clue number 4 said that he can code, and this would not make him the developer, and the manager role fits him. So let's check this out. And this just leaves Duke being the designer. And um, we now have solved the problem. Now that we have discussed the backgrounds and types of strategies in solving a problem and successfully applying those strategies to solving a problem, we will describe problem solving strategies with the words
adaptability,
critical thinking,
curiosity,
analysis,